Hey, good evening, Lighthouse. I wanted to take a moment and catch up with you and see how you're doing. We want you to know that we're thinking of you and we're praying for you each day. Anytime that you speak to a group of people, you never know the circumstances of the people in your audience and what they're going through at that very moment in time. This is especially true when you speak to a larger group via social media. We often see the world through our lens and assume that everyone else sees it as we do and everyone else is experiencing what we are experiencing. But that's not true. I hope that during this time, we'll be extra gracious and considerate of one another. I've told you stories before about my brother, who's a detective. He told me about being at a scene one time doing an investigation. And as he sat in his car doing the paperwork, he saw the elderly lady in her 80s who he had just interviewed. She was on her way home, obviously distracted by the day's events. She pulled out of the driveway onto the road. The driver she pulled in front of had to slow down, and he proceeded to honk his horn and drive right up on her bumper. The driver was angry and he was frustrated because he was inconvenienced and thought it was okay to take out his frustrations and his anger on this little old lady. He may have thought differently had he known what she had just gone through. You see, this mother had just stopped over to check on her son, who she was unable to reach by phone. When she arrived, she found that her son had died several days earlier, and his pets had begun to eat portions of his body. And she had just witnessed that. Some of the people around us are under a great deal of pressure today. Perhaps they recently started a new business and then the work has slowed and the bills are mounting. Maybe they or a family member has been diagnosed with this virus. Perhaps they lost their job or a family member is sick and cannot get the surgery they need. Maybe it's simply a mother who heard the news that the kids don't go back to school for another 5 months. That in itself can be a scary situation to be in. Well, you may be doing great. Let's be honest. Some people are doing pretty good. During this virus, their job is paying them to stay at home and not work. The government has promised to send them a check for $1,200 per person and $500 for each child. Everyone is telling them not to do too much and to take it easy. And they are saving the world by sleeping in late and watching Netflix. For a lot of people, that sounds like something they work hard for all of their life. That's either a vacation or that's early retirement. For those who are under pressure, let me ask you a question. What does pressure do? Many times, pressure causes what's inside to come out. The definition of pressure is the amount of force applied at right angles to the surface of an object per unit area. If I push the tip of my thumb against the drywall, it usually does nothing. But if I take a thumbtack and use that same amount of force, the point of the thumbtack pierces and damages the drywall. What is the pressure that you're under doing to you? Is it revealing peace and contentment? Is it causing you to turn to Christ for strength and wisdom? Is it causing you to express your total dependency upon Him? Is it revealing areas of your character and of your life that need to be refined and surrendered to Christ? And if it does, will you surrender those areas to Him? Or does the pressure cause you to become bitter and angry? Does it cause you to lash out at your husband or your children? Does it cause you to complain and become angry and ungrateful? Hebrews chapter 12 says, "See to it that no one falls short of the grace of God, and that no bitter root grows up to cause trouble and defile many." I read in a devotional earlier this week, and the author said, never forget that your attitude is more important than the adversity you're experiencing. Attacks pass, But your attitude, if bitter or demoralized, can grow into a root of bitterness that will poison every day of your life. God has a great future for you in store. I encourage you to let the pressure produce diamonds in your life. Until next week, we love you. God bless you.